Hello. Happy Monday. Happy Memorial Day. I hope you guys are all doing well. Hold on. All right. So this is going to be your new moon forecast. We're all kind of getting over the flu in this household. I've been having dizzy spells, so I haven't on here very much. I'm very congested and very nasally today. But it is what it is. That's all I got to say about that. Let me get into the forecast. So we do have a new moon. It is today, Monday, May 26th. It does take place about 11:02 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Now, this energy will be all about our self-expression. It's about publishing, writing, communication, and projects literally relating to communicating, like broadcasting, podcasting, writing, or blogging. Taking up new studies, writing or publishing a book, learning photography or a foreign language, and all intellectual pursuits are blessed under these stars. It's all about catching up with siblings, family, friends, and neighbors too. This also represents short trips, taking on new classes, writing letters, social media engagements, negotiations, and even for some, a set of new wheels or a cell phone. Travel, communication, foreigners, and foreign lands will have an impact on this energy, and it is the best time to make any and all sorts of travel plans as they are blessed under these stars right now. Improving foreign relations and learning about other cultures is also wonderful under this energy. Now, souls born in the constellation of Gemini will be curious, have a thirst for knowledge, be very flirtatious and quick-witted. Now it will be the air signs, Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra, and the mutable signs, Gemini, Pisces, Virgo, and Sagittarius, that feel this energy strongest. Air signs will be extremely magnetic these next 2 weeks. And of course, all souls born with a sun, moon, rising, ascendant, or dragon's head or tail in Gemini also benefit strongly from this placement as well. Now, this moon also brings a lovely sextile the same day. So today, Mercury in Gemini and Neptune in Aries are making many souls filled with like a vivid imagination and like very deep intuitive insight. So the next day on the 27th, which is tomorrow, we have Mercury in Gemini trining Pluto in Aquarius. And this is going to be creating deeper interests in occult knowledge and science world. And we end the month with a Mercury Cazimi on May 29th, 30th, depending on where your time zone is. And this is all about creating new friendships, and lots of creative flow can happen in this energy. So enjoy that Kazemi that's hitting. Hey, Melly, how are you? Thank you. Thank you. It's part of working with children, I guess. When you work in education, you're bound to get sick and bring it home to everyone else. Hey, Leslie, how are you? I'm glad you're here. Glad you got to see me live. Um, Happy Memorial Day to everybody. And let's carry on. But yes, I have been sick. So if I sound nasally and congested, that is why. Now my poor mother is sick, and I'm more worried about that than anything because she's older and it's harder to recover. I know for myself, it's taken me over a week and a half um, just to recover. So it is what it is. Now, I'm going to cover Gemini's forecast because this is your new moon, Gemini, and you can achieve anything you put your mind to these next few weeks. It is stationed right on you, your first house, and this is the house of self. It's soul's purpose, it's new beginnings, it's appearances, and it's also first impressions. Take chances now. You can even gamble a little and let that Gemini charm of yours shine through. Now, May 27th, I just talked about this, but there is a trine between Mercury and Pluto, creating a deeper curiosity in science and occult knowledge. And a lovely sun conjunction. The sun conjuncts Mercury on the 30th. This is a very powerful Mercury cazimi, which is going to be right on you, Gemini. So you want to grab that and use that energy to your advantage. It will be filled with tons of mental curiosity and an opportunity to meet new friends too. So best of luck, Gemini. These next 2 weeks are filled with a lot of lucky breaks and a lot of lucky opportunities. You can't lose and you can't miss out. So get out there and grab those opportunities for yourself. Now, Gemini new moons are all about our curiosity, a thirst for knowledge, and meeting new people. A lot can be achieved in this swift and quick mercurial type energy. However, around May 28th, the spotlight will be on the USA and Great Britain as we move into a moonic phase. Now, that moonic phase has already gone into effect. You can actually see that with the headlines this morning in this morning's news. There was some sort of a accident in England, in Liverpool, where I think a car or a truck mowed through a bunch of people in an open market. Those are just some of the news that's coming in at the moment. I haven't looked deeply into it, but that's just what I heard before going on air just now. So there's that. But around May 28th, the spotlight will become the USA and Great Britain. Great Britain has already made those headlines. It could make more headlines. Now, there will be bad weather issues, forced relocations. This represents beginnings and endings of life. Earthquakes, tsunamis, and earth changes in general can take place, and there is a lot of activity going on under the oceans right now, from off the coast of Oregon and California to off the coast of Florida. They're talking about sinkholes under the Florida coast right now. And then there's a mile-long rip on the ocean floor off the Pacific Northwest. That's the Cascadian subduction zone. And so there's a lot of things going on globally with earth changes. So just be aware of this and keep your ears tuned to the headlines that follow in the next several days to come. These are always possibilities. Nothing is ever set in stone. Okay. Now, around June 7th, the Plutonic phase will bring some dramatic news infused with Plutonic energy. You want to steer clear of large crowds, unfamiliar people and places. Once again, the stars ask you to lay low, fly under the radar, and seek refuge within your own four walls. The news will get ugly, so be prepared for it. Be prepared for it. All right, moving on. Now, even though we've got some red and green lights here with this new moon, we have a moonic phase happening in a day or two. We've got the Plutonic phase coming up in a day or two, or actually in a week or so. It really is all about the curiosity within ourselves as Gemini. We want to focus more on this new moon phase and enjoy the positive energies it brings, but do be aware of those days of caution that I have given. My Patreons have all the dates, and they have them many months in advance, but they are set in place, these days of caution, to prepare and warn you of the red and green lights as we maneuver around the stars. So I am wishing all of you a very blessed new moon. And like I said, it will have its ups and downs. I'm looking for the card I pulled for my Patreon so we can go over it together. And here it is. So I did a full tarot for my Patreons, but for the general public, I just pull an oracle. And the oracle card that we drew is the victory card. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can. I try not to have the light shining right on it. Victory. And this card is upright, and it is card 28. So 2 and an 8 is a 1, or a 10, which is a 1, which is new beginnings. The start of something new makes perfect sense for this new moon in Gemini. But it's about success and achievement. So these next 2 weeks are really a time to get out there and forge forward in whatever those endeavors are. Now, remember, um, Gemini energy is mercurial energy, so it is going to take on the crypto markets as well. Cryptos are up, cryptos are down. We've had quite an interesting bull run with Bitcoin going up to 111, which is excellent. And I do think that bull run is going to keep going. Yes, it is a little stifled this afternoon, but that's with anything. Once something peaks, it does have to kind of go back down a little bit before it shoots back up again. So don't lose faith, and just know that markets are volatile right now. And it is what it is. You kind of got to go with the flow of it. If you are into crypto and you have a hard wallet, just dump it in the hard wallet. That's your safe space. That is your safe space right now. But the victory card, anytime we draw um, this card shows a beautiful spirit holding a golden victory wreath in acknowledgement of your achievements. Success is on its way, and you have a sense of pride in what you've worked to accomplish. The achievement may be a great outer success, or it may be a deep inner change that you've been exerting a lot of effort towards. Enjoy this sense of accomplishment and be careful not to rest upon your laurels. Um, people, ex- People expect outer triumphs to bring great changes, but often there may still be inner work to do. Let yourself be open to victory on every level now. So remember, victory comes in many different facades and in many different ways. So this could be an internal victory for you. It could be a financial victory for you or an academic victory, but victory is nevertheless victory. Okay. The affirmation here, feel free, light a white candle. Pray upon this. I'm achieving great things within myself and in the world. I see myself as a success in many wonderful ways, even now. So mote it be. Amen. Blessed be. Whatever you close your prayers with will be just fine. But that is the great affirmation. And like I said, with this new moon tonight in Gemini, it is really about paving the way for new ideas. New ideas can bring new opportunities, new wealth, new fortune, new money, things like that. Um, and once again, crypto is mercurial energy. So it should be interesting these next few weeks what the crypto markets hold for all of us. Um, my Patreons get a little more information on this, but um, there is some interesting things happening behind the scenes, and around June 1st, uh, we should see some things taking place within the crypto market. Um, they have to do with Trump, some big announcement he's making around June 1st. It could either be a detriment or a benefit, depending on um, how one perceives it. Okay, so I'm a Gemini, 610, been feeling low energy. When will that lift? And yes, I need money and some luck. Okay, so the new moon goes into effect tonight, 11:02 Eastern Time. If you're on the West Coast, that's going to be around 8:02, something like that. Excuse me. And I'll pull some cards for you guys. So Melly and Leslie, if you want me to pull oracle cards for you, I shall do that. But you should feel that energy lift by tomorrow. Okay. That new moon energy hits late in the evening tonight. So a lot of us will be in the dream time when it does happen and sleeping. But tomorrow and the next 2 weeks ahead should you should feel that energy lift a little bit. Um, let me check something real quick for Geminis. Hold on, I gotta bring something up on my computer here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Give me a second. I gotta look something up here. All right, so let me go to the May energy forecast for a minute. So, in regards to your question, Leslie, about the energy levels and whatnot, there are some interesting things happening this week. Uh, for example, on May 30th, it could be the 29th, 30th, depending on where you're stationed in the world. The sun conjuncts Mercury, and the sun's in Gemini, Mercury's in Gemini. So this is a double Mercurial energy. And when the sun conjuncts, this means you are in a Mercury cazimi. This can turbocharge a lot of Geminis because remember, Mercury is your mental process, it's your mind. The sun is the outer energy you're expressing or exuding. So, with that being said, this cazimi, as I call it, should be turbocharged. And so, for those Geminis that are feeling a little lethargic and lack of energy, this is going to snap you right back out of it like that. Okay, so just give it a few more days and you'll start to feel the energy shift. And a lot of Geminis will feel like they have a little more energy, a little more pep in their step, things like that. Okay. Okay. So Leslie, we'll start with you and I'll pull a card. Spirit, what messages do you have for Leslie for this new moon in Gemini energy? All righty. And this is a master number, Leslie. This is 22, yin and yang. It is in reverse, but it is a master number. And anytime you're dealing with this deck and you're dealing with master numbers, we don't break them down. So let me go into the book here and read this to you. So anytime you draw the yin and the yang, remember the yin and the yang can either be passive or active, intuitive or logical. Now this has been pulled in reverse. So anytime you draw the yin and the yang in reverse, this card reveals a yang cycle happening, which is one of active, outgoing energy. This time calls for more logical approach to things, but the logic needs to be applied to purposeful action. This cycle is often marked by creativity and new beginnings, sometimes with significant outer change. Let yourself apply more forceful energy to the task at hand and take advantage of this highly charged yang time. So this is very, very good for Geminis right now. So this is very, very good for you at this time, Leslie. Just let that moon move into its new position tonight, and you will feel the changes and the energies, cosmically speaking. Now, Leslie, the affirmation for you is I am open to understanding the cycle I am in, and I am willing to utilize its energy beneficially. All that I need is already part of me. And that is it. You have all the tools to succeed here. Okay. Let me go into the chat. Okay. I'm in hell. Is that Michigan? Think positive. Try and think a little more positive. I know it's easier said than done. I really do. I have a dragon's head in Gemini, so I'm trying to work with this energy as well. In fact, a few days ago, I asked a personal reading, pulling one of these cards. I asked for this new moon energy, what can I expect for myself? And I got I got this exact card, hon. So this is a message for people that have a lot of Gemini in their chart, a lot of, a sun, a moon, a rising, a dragon head or tail. It's wanting us to use yang energy. Very good. Okay, yes, use that affirmation. Tonight is a perfect night to light that white candle and say those affirmations for ourselves. Um, Sprinkling cinnamon in front of your door. Contrary to what people say, you hear people say, "Oh, first day of the month, always sprinkle cinnamon." No, 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 no. The calendar system is very screwed up, and it's done by design. So we, as humans, are out of tune with nature. Okay, new moon is technically the first day of the month. Okay, in paganism. So you want to sprinkle that cinnamon, not on May 1st, not on June 1st, not on July 1st, unless it's a new moon. Sprinkle your cinnamon either tonight or first thing tomorrow morning in front of your door, and bring in the abundance. You're very, very welcome, Leslie. I hope that helps. And Melly, you're next. If you would like a card, I will pull one for you as well. I'm wishing you the best of luck, Leslie. Hang in there. Like I said, 11 o'clock tonight, that energy lifts. So we're still in that dark moon phase right now, and we're feeling that dark energy, that lethargicness, that lack of energy. Um, I've been sick, so I've been feeling it all week, and I'm hoping it changes. It will. It's just a slow roll and a slow process, Melly, do you want a card, or should I just conclude for the day? I don't see her. So I'm going to pull one for the world at large. And so even though we're going into new moon energy, the card that came up is Deceit. And this is number 25, which is a 7, which a lot of people think, oh, lucky number 7, but not in my opinion. I had another tarot reader and astrologer on here tell me that 7 in her eyes means a Judas number, and I actually can relate to that in a lot of ways. But before I go on, I want to do something. Leslie, before I go on, number 22, this is considered a master number, and it's symbolizing strength, balance, and a potential for a significant advancement. So, like I said, you pulled that Yang card that was a 22. And even though I'm an astrologer, not a numerologist, it is important that we understand these numbers. So this card is also symbolizing some strength, bringing in some of that inner balance and a potential for a significant shift in achievements, success, and goals. So just wanted to add that in before we go on to the Deceit card that has been pulled. This is number 25. And this is for the world at large. This isn't really for a specific individual per se. But anytime we have the Deceit card, it is representing hidden tactics and manipulation. So there is that. So anytime we have this card, now this can be our own government, because this card comes as a warning that there may be some deception going on in our lives or behind the scenes. Like I said, I didn't pull this for an individual person. This is for the world at large. And so you always have to think of what the positives and the negatives of Gemini bring. Okay. Gemini, on its positive, this is the sign that is very curious, very vivacious, has a thirst for knowledge, a thirst for curiosity, very intellectual, can be the life of the party, the one who likes to crack the jokes, um, is a social butterfly in a lot of ways, very good at writing and being philosophical. Okay, those are all positive attributes of Gemini. Now, with just like the yin and the yang, there's a positive and a negative to each and every sign and each and every energy. So, um, when I say this does not mean that these are characteristics per se of all Geminis. But when you're dealing with deceit, do you ever use the 369 Tesla method for manifesting? I don't know too much about the Tesla 369 method for manifesting, or yeah, 369. Boy, my dyslexia is kicking in. But I'll have to look into that. Because I'm always curious about what those things mean. But this is deceit. And I pulled this for the world at large. Remember, your president is also a Gemini. Okay. Um, June 14th. And you'll notice that when they have this card, there is things hiding behind the curtain. Or in this case, his big, beautiful bill. I don't know how else to put that. Just wondering how 22 goes with that. I don't know how 22 goes with the Tesla method per se, but I do know that when we're drawing cards, whether it's, you know, oracle cards, tarot cards, 11, 22, 33, those are all master numbers that have a deeper meaning in the realm of numerology. But this is a 25, which, like I said, represents deceit. So it's likely that someone you know or deal with is either personally or professionally being deceitful. So this card is coming as a warning for the world at large. There's a duplicity here that could be regarding a personal issue or someone spreading rumors or disrespecting you or others. Now, or it could be a business matter where details are being hidden or even manipulated. And that is actually what is happening with mainstream media right now and this big, beautiful bill, because you'll notice it's not being talked about, but so many things are being removed from it that by the time it's over and done with, it could be too late for some people. That's what this card is insinuating. However, I do think it's going to die in the Senate because there are some GOPs that are dead set against it. Rand Paul is one of them. There's a couple of other ones out there. I can't remember their names. But this card is saying that there is a deeper layer to things and that deception is actually coming from within. So the deception is coming from within your own government. That's what this card is telling you. Be awake, be aware, and don't believe everything you hear, especially on mainstream media, because it's just not decent news anymore. They're only reporting on what they want to report on. So just be aware of the deceit and the deception behind the scenes these next few weeks. But I will have to look into that Tesla method of manifesting. I know Nikola Tesla was a pretty man ahead of our time kind of guy, with a lot of his stuff stolen from Graham Bell, JP Morgan Chase. Those are some of the things that have happened to poor Nikola Tesla. Like I said, he was way advanced before, ahead of his time. And I do believe Nikola Tesla had made contact with higher beings, extraterrestrial beings that guided him. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong on that. But usually when people vibrate on a very incredibly high level to the point where they look almost insane, there is some sort of influence from something higher. a higher realm, a higher species of alien, whatever. It was great having some time with you. Oh, you're so welcome. It was great seeing you too. Um, all of you out there, I want you to have a wonderful new moon. Remember, maneuver around those uh, red and green lights. But all in all, we should feel that energy lift in the next 24 hours or so. Like I said, new moon hits late tonight, 11:02 west or east coast, 9:02 or no, 8:02 west coast. So it'll get better. The energy is just still a little thick, laggish, and lethargic, but we should see ourselves snapping out of things quite quickly. Leslie, nice seeing you. Melly, good to see you. All of you out there, enjoy. And I shall be back on here the next week sometime. Um, Musical frequency has been posted. However, it will stay only for Patreon for another couple of weeks. And then you can go to my Patreon page and I'll make it for the general public. I probably won't put it on YouTube. Just because I'm using a lot of different sound frequencies and I didn't have time to tag all of them. Excuse me. Most of them are royalty free. Oh, Melly, do you want a card, hon, before we close? I shall have a wonderful week, but I didn't see you in there, and now I see you. I am more than happy to pull an oracle card for you as well. If you would like one really quickly, Melly, just say yay or nay. Okay. All right, Spirit, what messages do you have for Melly for this new moon energy? All right, what does that say? Okay, so this is the card Hostilities. I pulled it in reverse, upright. It looks like that, a man holding a sword, but it is in reverse. And I love the reverse because reverse is always very positive. This is card number 26, which is an 8. It's the infinity number. So hostilities reversed. Let's see what it says. This is signifying that defenses could be up and there's aggressive energy around. Now, when it's in reverse, it does take on a little bit different meaning. It says that this card reverse marks the end of hostilities for you. There is a shift in the energies around you, and even about you and the universe are supporting your own internal shift as well. Whether the aggressive actions has ended due to external factors of your own inventions, this card bodes well for more inner peace and harmony. So know, Melly, that inner peace and harmony is ahead of you with this card. Be aware, however, that there may still be some action you have to take on your part. And it may seem on the surface that things are slow in getting better, but know that your inner vibrations are changing and the situation will be resolved. Your affirmation, Melly, is I am receiving the peaceful, harmonious treatment I deserve in my life. I set boundaries, make reasonable requests, and make my expectations clearer. So this is a very good card. And like I said, that new moon, a couple hours away, the energy will shift. You're very welcome, Melly. Very, very welcome. Bullseye. I love it when I hit the bullseye. Yay! So yes, know that inner peace is ahead of you, and this new moon will bring that. Keep it positive. Stay in the positive. Don't let anyone bring you down or bring your spirit down, because there's a lot of people out there that just can't stomach the fact that you're thriving, that you're happy, and that you're achieving things. Those are the people we shut out of our lives. Don't ever lose faith. Don't ever lose that spirit. Okay? All right, ladies. Blessed new moon. I will see you soon. Ciao. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Bye, you guys.